and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Clear Issue 3 by Dark Horse Comics. Now, there is violence, killing, shooting, blood, corporations being corporations, and veils in this one. So, if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright, here's our team. And let's get to it. So this is the conclusion of this mini-series, or at least curated by Dark Horse, because they, I believe, put 2 issues in 1 issue. So there's about 6, so first, maybe, I could be wrong. I'm not sure there. But yes, so when we last left off Sam in issue 2, he too jumped off the bridge that Kendra jumped off. And he lands into the water, somehow not breaking any limbs. Again, it's like when you fall from a great height, the water, because of the, I don't know, gravity or how the water is, he would have, I don't know, I just, from, it's so high up, you'd think he'd get some damage. You know? And anyway, comic logic. He's underwater. He says some stuff. He goes up for a second, but the police is there. They're shooting at him. He goes back down. Then he's grabbed by a bunch of robots and pulled into a submarine, in which he finally meets the widow. The widow is this lady who sells black veils to people and obviously has to hide. So she has this. Her design is actually very interesting. Has this veil on her face and in the back, and anyway, she meets Sam. Tells him, she introduces herself. Hello, Sam. So apparently, the reason Kendra jumped off the bridge is to meet her. I guess that's how you meet her. You jump off the bridge and hope she picks you up in her submarine. Now, because she is who she is, she doesn't want to work with anyone from the COD, you know, the whole corporation there. So she didn't pick her up, and Kendra drowned. So she tells Sam you have to accept it, and outside of and underwater, there's a police submarine following them now. Then she starts telling him how she became, who she became, why. She used to be a mom and a wife. She tells him I'm an actual widow. She tells us about how one time when she walks with her little son, he was about to step on a black widow spider, and then she realized that they're all, you know, they're all happy in their own web. So that's what she does. She helps people have their own little web. Because what's the point of knowing so much? Knowing so much just gives you more anxiety, and now people are just too hyper aware these days. Which was a little disappointing because I thought that she too lost her son, and that's why she became like this to, I don't know, give people a happier reality or something. And it's weird because she said, I used to be a mother, which makes you wonder how the fuck old she is. Because she tells Sam she's a lot older than she makes herself look. So, is her son already dead? Is she still alive? I don't know. Anyway, she does the thing that Kendra wanted her to do. She makes sure that the veil will be invisible and can fit into the server. Then she brings Sam up to the surface and gives him a red veil. Oh, sorry. Gives him a red piece of veil like what she's wearing, and tells him, here, this will allow you to appear as whoever you want to appear, and that way you can walk around. But do be noted, when you put it on, you're going to see things how they really are. So apparently Sam, even though he was buying clear, he hasn't really seen things clear. So over time, as corporations do, sorry about that, where was I? As corporations do, they would, makes small changes so people wouldn't see the actual reality. Like make the skies a bit bluer, make it look like there's more trees and stuff like that. And as corporations do, over time they made it more and more extreme until people didn't see things at all how they were, even those that were unclear. And one like big revelation we get is that all the robots are not actually robots in this universe. They're actually people. The veils are programmed to make you see them as robots. These are people who have debts they need to pay, or they just kidnapped and some crazy shit. So that was that was a big thing. I was like, holy shit, because Sam sees them. He sees that they're not actually robots. So Sam gets off the submarine, goes to Baxter's grave, and looks and thinks of it all. Then he goes to a telephone booth and calls Mrs. Matters, the wife of the man who's in charge of this whole one of the owners of this corporation. And he calls her. I want you to go. I want to burn it all. And then he says some dialogue on how in the joke he thought he was the watch, but he was actually the fire. Should even remember the joke if you read this. So then there's like an intermission. There's a page with an image from the first cover. I think that signifies these are two issues in one. And then we move on. We see Mrs. Martyrs and Sam now looking like her husband, going to this tower that he built, where there's all of these veils are are processed through. So they go there. They get in. She tells them, okay, to because they go in on days where the husband doesn't visit, so she doesn't have to be an extra asshole. So they go in. They go up the elevator. And right before they're about to get into the correct floor, the elevator opens. Mrs. Martyrs kisses Sam. He's surprised. And then the doors open, and boom, Mrs. Martyrs is shot and killed by her own husband. And he doesn't even comment on it. Only Sam screams her name. It is. I mean, fucking hell, I can see why she hated him. He's one asshole. But, like, nothing. He doesn't even comment, oh, my poor wife, how stupid were you to think you can fool me or something. Nothing. It's just completely ignored. Which shocked me a bit. Then Sam, then he also shoots Sam in the shoulder. Wait, at the same time he gets shot. But then Sam runs from him. There's a maze of all these, kind of like you might see in movies in these computer rooms. There's all these, and you see all the robots that are not actually robots. The Rex, they're people, which are for some reason naked. Because now that we know they're people, they're basically naked there. They don't have any suits on, which is really weird. It also makes me wonder when exactly can they go to the bathroom and why are they even naked? Is it really hot in that room and they need to be naked? I don't. I mean, there's men and women there, so doesn't that get awkward? Like you're okay, you know what? Let's move on. He starts chasing Sam, telling him, I made sure that only the robots here can upload things to the server. Even if you reach it, you'll not be able to do anything. Sam still runs for it, but then he gets hit hard by a yellow-eyed version of himself, the same one in issue 2 that attacked him. Then Mr. Martyrs approaches him, tells him, it's Kendra tried to do the same. She also thought she could do something, but she didn't succeed. And then he tells the yellow-eyed Sam to say, well, why don't you introduce yourself? And holy shit, it's actually Kendra. So it looks like, now it's not explained if the Kendra that he and Colin saw was just a veil used to make them think they saw Kendra, and who rescued her. I guess maybe they got her out of the water. I don't know. It's not explained. So okay, she didn't die, and it looks like she's on Martyr's side. She says, Sam, I just want us to be happy. I came to you to help me, and I saw that you had this black veil, and you didn't even listen. I screamed in your ear, and you pushed me away. And I saw that even because okay, what happened was the reason Kendra found out about everything about how there's even a veil to those who don't have a veil is because of what happened with their son. That robot that they almost ran over, she later looked it all up and then discovered it wasn't actually a robot. Because even if these people that are supposed to be these robots, even if they say something out of script, let's say, people still won't hear it. They'll see the veil. So I guess maybe something happened there too. And so she said, Mr. Mars gives them a choice. You can be happy, you, Kendra, and your son. And Sam refuses. He says no, because he goes back to the day the accident happened and how the car accident happened, and how his son really hated the veil, how he pounded on it, he wanted it to go away. And yeah, I didn't mention in issue 2, the little guy didn't seem happy about it. So he said no, Sam wouldn't. Baxter would not want this, and so it looks like he's about to get killed. But then Kendra shoots Mr. Martyrs, and he shoots her. It's like, you bitch, and Sam yells, Kendra, duck, or get down, but it's too late. He goes to her, holds her. He wants the moment to go back. He wants to agree to Martyr's deal, but it's too late. He holds Kendra, and they have a last conversation about everything on how it's good to be afraid. And she got this close to Mr. Martyrs and agreed just to keep playing along, just to get the veil to him, the Baxter veil. And then she dies, sadly. And then Sam's holding it, but then Mr. Martyrs is still not dead, and he kind of gets up. He's about to shoot Sam, but then no, not shoot Sam. He yells at the robots. They're not robots, to get him, to tear him limb from limb. But instead, they grab him and they kill him. Sam hears bone breaking and skin tearing, so I'm not sure exactly what they've done to him. I think they probably shot him with his own gun, which is golden, just to emphasize the fact that he's a rich prick. So then they look at him and he sees them as they are, like I said, naked. And they tell him, come on, go upload it. The servers will work for you. So he does. Okay, the whole point of uploading is for a moment, while this is uploaded, the servers will go down and people will see how things really are. Just for that moment. I always see people going in the streets, and then suddenly we see Baxter as an older version of himself. The version Sam wanted. Sam wanted to see in the Dark Veil, telling that joke about the insane asylum. And people all looking and not believing in where Sam is, where they upload the veils. The place isn't burning, but it's all bright, and for some reason, all the people that were behind him start running away from there. I don't know why. But yeah, he's sitting there, and Sam wonders, will the people actually look, or will they keep looking away, or will, for once, they actually stand and stare at reality in the face, something like that. And then that's it. That's where the comic ends. All right. Yeah, he's still there. He's still there holding Kendra, sitting on the floor, and just looks outside at the city. And that's it. It ended. Okay, let's start with the cover. I like how Sam is drawn. That's actually something that happens in the comic. Kendra puts her hand on his cheek, and because she's bloodied, she leaves this mark. So yeah, I like this. Maybe they could have done something here. Actually something, not just some orange yellow. But this is much better than the cover for issue 2, which was, I think, way too busy. And the good use of white, it really stands out here. Alright, let me show you the art. It's the same art. Like I said in the last 2 issues, I love this art style, I love the colors. There you go, you see Sam. How are his bones not broken is beyond me. And then I can only show you this far. You see, like, look, that's not as high. That's even higher up, just so you understand. You see, there's a pier there, and the police, Sam going down. They're shooting at him, and there's you see the robots are grabbing him. But these are not actually robots; they're people, I guess, all wearing scuba diver gear. They have to wear something to breathe underwater. They're not actually robots. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's the art. Alright, now let's get to the conclusion of the story. Okay, so this did not go how I thought it would from issue 1. I thought this was going in direction of your regular conspiracy story and Sam doing his best to uncover it and show people the reality. But then in issue 2, it seemed more going the direction of Kendra kind of lost it and wants everyone to live in a world where Baxter is still alive. And it's unclear what's going to happen. I didn't mention this, but Kendra killed Collins. Now, she said she shot really fast, but like, holy shit, poor Collins. Ah, that poor bastard. But yes, that was, oof. Yeah, and I think Kendra was also the one that killed that director as well. Because there's another yellow-eyed man, and if she was him, then I assume she's the one who stuck an axe in him. Fucking hell, Kendra turned a bit murderous there, didn't she? Yeah, so there was, yeah, and then when I was wondering what's gonna happen in the third issue, because Sam also jumped, and I'm like, is that it? Is he gonna die? And then we meet the widow, and we find out about there's an extra veil, and then we find out Kendra's not actually dead. And Mr. Mars was planning to use this sort of toxin that was mentioned in issue, according to here, issue 4, but that's issue 2. Sort of a toxin. He was going to, he was on the board and they were going to approve bigger doses of it to make people go even deeper into the veils, basically. So, yeah, some corporation shit. And then it just ends with everyone for a moment at least seeing the reality. And that's it. Which, okay, I get it. Not every story has to have a firm, definitive conclusion and ending. You can leave it open. But, this is like when I read It by Stephen King. At the end, I was like, why did I read all this to reach this ending? I'm just a bit disappointed, really. Because it wasn't clear where this was going, which you can say is an advantage. Oh, where's it gonna go? But it was just like, what was the point? They're all gonna see things for a moment, and that's it. We're left to wonder if it even did something. And we don't have a conclusion, a closure of what happens to Sam. Mr. Martyrs is dead. I'm assuming the police are still gonna go after Sam. So what's gonna happen to him? I mean, okay, everyone sees it. Are they gonna revolt now against the veils? Or are most of them just gonna go back to life as they were, as it was, because they don't want to look reality in the face? Which I'm assuming was the whole philosophy of the story, how people refuse to look reality in the face. And they want to live in this happy, whatever version, the virtual version. Trying to put commentary on the internet. I just, I just don't know. It's just like, what was the point? Like, at least give us, I don't know, show us a later and Sam, I don't know, maybe leaving San Francisco or things changing a little bit, something. It's like, that's it. I mean, yeah, Sam wasn't a huge fan of the Veils, but what was his real motivation to really end all this? Yes, he wanted to see reality as it is, but, it wasn't like a main goal in his life, really. I mean, to stop it all, that is. It's just I kind of feel like what was the point here of the story? I wish the ending was different, just to, or at least it went in the route of Kendra uncovered something and it killed her, and now Sam, with his hatred of Vales, goes to finish the job. Because we had the secret society, the 1815, and we had the widow, which could have been explored more, and we got nothing out of that. They were there for a few pages and adios. I mean, they, or at least explore the fact how Kendra still felt guilty, because if she didn't turn on that veil, their son would have probably still been alive and there wouldn't be any of this. Yeah. So, as you understand, I'm disappointed. I did enjoy the first issue quite a bit. I wish it went in a different route. I think I would have liked the whole story. Yeah, the ending was. I thought about it. What could have maybe been a lot more interesting is if instead of Baxter that day, if Sam died, and we would have been from the beginning with Baxter, because Baxter's mom Kendra, she works for the DOC. It could be interesting to get into this accident. Sam gets killed. Yeah, he gets killed. And then Baxter grows up with a hatred for Vales. Of course, the circumstances could have been the same. He grows up with a hatred towards Vales, towards a desire to, I don't know, destroy them, to get them away. Maybe Kendra, after what happens, I don't know, maybe still discovers it and then leaves it, and then tells, or at least Baxter overhears her talking about it or finds her findings later on. But I don't know, maybe her just going deeper into veils or even creating a veil where Sam is still alive and Baxter refusing to participate because it's not really his dad there anymore. I think that would have been maybe a much more interesting direction. Of course, you could say it would have been a more generic one, but I don't know. Yeah, I would have think that would have made a much more coherent, and interesting plot line than whatever the fuck really happened here. But yeah, so I don't even know who to recommend the story to read. Really, I mean, you got this futuristic world. I guess if you like that, give this a read. But the way the story just goes here and there, and then we skip some stuff, and then some stuff are not referenced again. I feel like this series could have used more issues. So then you could tell the story to tell more of the story. I think there should have been more issues. Because if this is it, they should have just released this as a trade and not wasted money on issues. Granted, I know why they did it in issues because then they get more money. But yeah, like if you want to give this a read, you like these futuristic kinds of stories with the technology taking over the lives of people and all that shit. I would recommend this. However, I would recommend you buy a trade and not chase the single issues because this is because of how confusing it became. I think this is one story you would want to read from beginning to end altogether. I wouldn't recommend reading this in issues because until I got the issues, like, wait, what's going on? Wait, that was different than what happened before. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna end it here. I'm glad I finished this. I didn't want to know what the fuck was going to happen, but yeah, it's not. The ending didn't leave me satisfied. But that's life for you. You're not, well, most of the time you're unsatisfied. All right, so that is it, folks. Let me know what you thought of Clear. If you read it, did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it confusing? Did you understand it better than me? I granted maybe there's some philosophy here that is going over my puny brain. There's definitely a lot of all these metaphors and jokes and like that joke, all the metaphors about life that maybe I missed. One metaphor used the shoe. I don't know. All right, so that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye.